Hey, it's Foreclosure Girl Boss, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And if you've been here before, welcome back. So today I want to talk to you about inspections. So inspections are one of the major differences between a regular traditional resale property and an REO foreclosed property. All right. So let me tell you what I mean by that when I say that. So, with a regular resale property that's on the market, so let's say you have a property that's listed on the market for sale, typically someone lives there. They maintain that property, they're living in that property, and they're maintaining it the best they can. So typically those homes are in average condition. And the buyer gets an opportunity to get a home buyer's inspection as per the contract. The buyer can get a home buyer's inspection, take a look at the property, have their inspector come out there, pick that whole house apart, and they're going to look at, not just the cosmetic stuff, because typically inspectors aren't looking at cosmetic stuff. They're looking at the stuff that you can't really see, or the stuff that you need an expert in the field to check out for you to make sure that it's running properly, like the electrical and the plumbing. And does the roof have leaks in it? What about the crawl space? What about termites? Things of that nature. So the buyer can go in there and pick that whole house apart with an inspector. And then here in my market area, immediately following the inspection period is a negotiation period. So then the buyer gets an opportunity to say, hey, Mr. Seller, I have my inspector inspect your house, and these are the things that we found wrong with the house, and these are the things that we would like to have fixed. So now you can negotiate with that seller to see, hey, can you fix this? Can you repair this? Can you replace this? Can you give me a credit for this amount of money? So there's all kinds of negotiations that you can do with the seller of a traditional resale property whenever you're buying a traditional resale properties. But with REO properties, not so much. Not so much. So with REO properties, you have to think about it. A lot of these properties have been vacant. There's no one living in there. So that property could very well suffer from deferred maintenance, right? So it's best to get an inspection on the property if you can. So one of the major differences, as I mentioned earlier, between traditional resale properties and REO properties are inspections or the lack of. So again, you really want to get a home buyer's inspection on an REO property, but some banks, some sellers of these REO properties don't allow inspections. Some of them don't allow inspections. Let me repeat. Some of them don't allow inspections. Some of them will allow inspections, but it's a very tight time frame. All right. Some of them allow inspections. However, there's things that you have to do as an investor to be able to complete those inspections. There's some that want you to have completed your inspections before you put your offer in. Now, I don't see those too much anymore. It used to be like that more so back in the day. Back in the day, a lot of the REO companies, when you put your offer in, they wanted you to have already completed all inspections, all necessary inspections, because they didn't want any offers with any contingencies, meaning that they didn't want any offers from any investors that says, hey, I want to buy this property subject to me getting a satisfactory home inspection. So to cut down all of that, they would allow investors to go in there and do a pretty basic inspection before they put the offer in. Like I said, I don't see that too much anymore. A lot of the asset managers now really don't want anyone coming in and inspecting that property or doing anything with that property until the offer is accepted. So I don't see that too much anymore. But just kind of circling back to my point is that you want to make sure that you are getting a home buyer's inspection, and you want to see if that seller even allows you to do a home buyer's inspection. Because again, and I stated in one of my other videos, there's one set of rules for owner occupants and one set of rules for investors. So again, you need to make sure when you're going over these contracts, you need to see if that seller will allow you as the investor to do a home buyer's inspection. Because can you imagine if you've done your numbers and your rehab cost is this, but yet you do a home buyer's inspection and there's something that you find out that's wrong with the property that's going to cost you some money? That's going to cut into your profit margin. So as an investor buying these properties, it's super, super, super important to find out about these inspections before you sign off on the contract. Do you get an inspection period? You need to find that out. Should you have done your inspection before you put the offer in? You also need to know what happens if you get an inspection and it's unsatisfactory. I'm actually going to go over that in another video. And lastly, some sellers will not give investors their money back if you get an unsatisfactory inspection and you want to now get out of the contract. Let me repeat that. Some sellers, if you get a home buyer's inspection, so they'll allow you to get a home buyer's inspection, but if you get a home buyer's inspection and it's it's unsatisfactory, and now you want to cancel the contract, they now get to keep your earnest money deposit. So you need to find out all that out. And it's right there in the contract. It's right there in the contract. So I'll be going over that in another video, but hopefully I have really explained to you about these inspections and the inspection periods, and how one of the major differences between a traditional resale property and an REO is the inspection period. Is the ability to do inspections, because sometimes, like I said, some sellers don't even allow investors to do inspections on the property. So again, one of the major differences between the REO property and a traditional resale property for investors is the ability to do home inspections and what happens during that process, how you do your inspections, and the period that follows the inspections, which I'll talk about that in another video. So again, please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can be in the know and be notified whenever I pop in with these videos. And again, I do have the e-guide. The link is somewhere around here, and it explains everything to you in detail, so you don't have to wait for me to keep popping in if you would like to have something that's tangible to be able to read and break everything down for you. All right. Toodles, guys.